What's up, YouTube? I'm going to break down this Manta Ray style ship and give you guys a little build guide on it. This was requested from a member over on the Facebook group for Starfield shipbuilding. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to break it down and then we'll rebuild it from the bottom up. Bear with me just a couple seconds as I do the teardown. All right, now we've got this all broken apart for you, so let's jump right into the build. So before you guys can start building this ship, you will need a couple specialty parts. So grab a Deimos Eris bridge from the Deimos Star Yard in the Sol star system. You will need one of those. And then you're going to need to go to New Homestead and grab 4 NG-20 landing gear wide. And also from New Homestead, you're going to grab 2 Slayton Aerospace SAE 5660 engines. Everything else is available to build from your landing pad with Shipbuilder at your outpost. So once you got your 7 specialty parts, make your way on over to your Shipbuilder with landing pad. And that's where we're going to slap this thing together. So to start off with this build, bring out some Deimos Hull A's from your structural tab and drop 4 of those in a line. Attach to that a Deimos Companionway 1x1. Below that, attach on there a 100 DP Slim Docker. That might be a specialty part, I'm not sure. If it's a specialty part, folks, then what you're going to use instead is a 110 DP Docker top and then flip it. Whoops, don't duplicate it. Flip it upside down. And then you could replace these 2 with that Docker. Okay, same outcome. All right, so after you've got that on there, then we're going to duplicate a 1x1 hab and place it to the sides. And then now you can attach these to the 1x1s. These are going to be Teo 2x1 bottoms in the A variant. So there's no connecting points and it's got the smooth edges. Teo 2x1s. You could use any model, infirmary, control station. None of that really matters. Connect a NG6 landing bay to the 1x1, and then connect another 2x1 on the other side, and now you can delete these extra 1x1s. So you should end up looking like this. Now, if we don't build the habs first, we're going to end up with cockpit errors at the end, and it's really super confusing. So we're going to start with getting rid of those errors. So add a 2x1 on top of your Docker or your 1x1, or I'm sorry, add a 1x1 on top of your Docker area. And then add another 2x1 connected to the 1x1. Again, these 2x1s can be anything you want. Then we're going to grab a Teo 2x1. This is going to be a top B variant. So it's got the smooth edges. It's got the rounded edges for the top, but has connecting points on the side. And then we got to bring in our cockpit, our Deimos Eris bridge. So at this point, you should not have any cockpit to Docker errors. We should be able to go from landing bay to cockpit and from cockpit to Docker. So all those errors should be all cleared up. All right, so next up is let's bring out a NG-20 landing gear wide and connect it to the bottom of each of the 4 of your Deimos hole A's. And then duplicate a Deimos hole. You could just put it on the end and duplicate it again. So we have 2. Now what we're going to do is select the top Deimos hole and the 4 landing gear and duplicate them so that they go up into the hole. And now you can delete these bottom landing gear. And now basically our landing gears are in line with our landing bay. Okay? Now we're going to have to move this Deimos hole off. Bring in your Slayton Aerospace 5660 engines. Put one on the back and put one on the middle. Stack 2 Deimos hole A's on top of each other. Select the bottom one. Select both of your engines and duplicate those. They'll go up the first time and then select the bottom ones again and duplicate them. And now they'll drop down. Now we have our engines into the spine. And then next, grab a Deimos wing A, and duplicate it and flip it. And then you're going to bring out some Deimos bumpers and duplicate those. Is that too many? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we don't need the 4th one. Duplicate those, flip them to the other side, stack those down. So now, if you wanted this jagged look, you could just leave it like that. Okay? The other option is this like little bubble look. If you want this look, then what you want to do is put a Deimos hole up on top here, duplicate these, change the variant to the backwards one. Okay, duplicate those onto here. And then you're gonna duplicate those down using a Deimos hole. So select the bottom one and select those 4 bumpers. And then duplicate them down. And now you can delete all this. Okay, so that's option B. So again, option B has the little bubbly effect. And then option A is the more jagged effect. Looks cooler like that, in my opinion. But a couple options for you guys to go with. All right, next up, we're going to drop in our fuel reactor and grav drive. I'm using Class C's on all of these. So I'm going to stack my grav drive right there on top of, right behind my habs. Okay? And now I need to drop it down 1 spot into the landing gear. So I'm going to select that in the bottom Deimos hole, duplicate them, it drops down, delete the grav drive, delete this extra, put the fuel on top. Now I need to get this down into there, so we need to drop it down twice. So select the fuel in the Deimos hole, drop it down, select the middle fuel in the Deimos hole, duplicate, drop them down, delete these top ones, delete these extra holes, grab your reactor, snap that on top, and again, duplicate down twice, once, twice, delete. And now we're done with all that. Next up is bringing a Deimos hole And we want this inside here as well. Okay. So set it up on top. Duplicate up. If sometimes they go up, that's fine. Just do it again. It's going to go down. Okay, delete the extras. All right. To the back of that, we have a Deimos cowling. Snap that on there. And then below that, we're going to be putting a Nova cowling on here. So snap it into place. It's going to be red. Flip it twice. Cancel. And now it's in place. And now I also want this Deimos D right here. And in order to do that, I'm going to need to drop it down. So what I'm going to do is place a Deimos hole on here and attach one over. Okay, so now I'm looking at that. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to select this and duplicate down. And then I'm going to select this and duplicate down again. Now I got it where I want it, right there. Okay, next up, we're going to grab another Deimos Spine D flipped variant. This one also will not attach here. Okay, so again, same thing. And while we're doing this, though, we're going to also need to do this for the tail. Okay, so do 4 of these. Put your spine on the third one. And put your tail on the last one. Okay, now you can delete all these holes, you don't need them. And now we're gonna duplicate these down twice to get them into place. So select those 3 parts, duplicate down. Again, select the bottom Deimos hole and the bottom tail and the bottom spine and duplicate those down. Okay, now you can delete the extras. And there you go, you got those into place. Now we could just drop in a Deimos Spine B right there. And that completes the tail of the ship. All right, next up is the middle section. Middle section is going to be pretty easy. Grab some Teo 2x1s in the mid variant. Any ones you want. I'm using like an infirmary and a workshop probably. Set those right on top of your other 2x1s. And then go ahead and grab some Teo braking engines and attach those to the fronts. Once you got one in place, just duplicate it and flip it. Put one on the other side. Grab yourself a Teo braking engine, and you can put this right underneath your bridge. It should attach to the 2x1. Then you're gonna grab some Stroud nose cap C's, a Stroud cap B, and a Nova cowling 2L. Those parts will end up snapping to your 2x1. So you got a Stroud nose cap C attached to a Stroud cap B. Now flip these if they're the wrong angle. Right? And then you got a Nova cowling 2L. Okay, you could just duplicate those and flip them to the other side. Done and done. Okay, next up, we want to bring in our bumpers. So what you're gonna do here is duplicate your Teo 2x1s, duplicate them up on both sides, and then duplicate those back. So now you got 4 connecting points here on the side. Okay, bring yourselves in a Deimos bumper, port 4. Connect that onto there. Duplicate it, flip it, change the variant to the mid, and then duplicate that and change the variant to the aft. Snap those in place, duplicate, flip to the other side, each part. And now that those are in place there, we can delete these 2x1s. Now we're going to select the bottom Deimos hull and all 6 of these bumpers and duplicate them down. And now we can delete these. Now the bumpers aren't necessary, but they give you smoother lines, you know, instead of the jaggedness here. So for example, if I don't see how that looks? It's kind of rough. By popping in those, it just gives you cleaner lines. That's all the way around. Not required to have them, but looks better. Okay, next up is our engines. Let's bring in some Nova 1050s. Drop those onto your grid. They're gonna snap into place as red. Flip them twice and cancel. Okay, then it's in place. You could duplicate it, snap it to the grid, put it in place red, flip it twice, cancel, and now it's locked in. Let's see, this part we don't even need. So next up, let's grab some Deimos wings. And we're gonna put those right into the engine, flip it twice and cancel. Then you can duplicate that, set it on the grid. Whoops. And put that in place, snap it as red, flip it twice and cancel. And let's see here. Next up, you're gonna wanna grab a Nova Cowling 2L. Actually, before you do that, grab your shield. I'm using a Assurance SG 1800 and place that on top of your grav drives. Then grab a Nova Cowling 2L, snap it here as red, flip it twice and cancel. And now we have a little gap right here, and I want that covered. So we're gonna duplicate this and flip it, and it should snap underneath in green, and then accept that. And that covers up, that fills in the hole and gives you some smooth lines. Okay? So that's this part. Now we got some Deimos wing E's that we're just gonna attach onto the Deimos hole here. So snap those into place, flip them twice, cancel, duplicate for the other side, place it on the grid, snap it into place, flip it twice and cancel. Okay, so that's, we're almost done. Grab yourself a Teo cowling. We want this to go right here. So you're gonna wanna grab a Deimos hole and put that on top of your 2x1. Then snap your cowling to that. And then in order to duplicate it down, we'll select the bottom Deimos hole over here and duplicate that down. Now we got our cowling in there. Next up is Deimos wings. These are gonna sit right here. Directly connected to the 2x1. And then finally, it's getting those parts on. So let's duplicate this up. And duplicate it up again. And then bring one more duplicate over. And then now you should be able to bring in a Stroud cap A. And then if you just duplicate that and change the variant, put it to the other side, duplicate that, flip it, attach it to the other side, duplicate that, change the variant, and put it over here. Okay, now you could delete these 3 parts, and we want to drop these down twice. So let's select all 4 in the bottom Deimos hole, duplicate them down, select the bottom Deimos hole, and all 4 of these bottom parts, and duplicate them down. Now you can delete all 8 of these extras. And that's it, folks. That's your ship. So the last thing is weapons. And weapons are all up to you. You could put your weapons on in any order that you want to. For me, I like to have all my weapons hidden. So what I'm going to do is hide them underneath these. And this becomes a little bit tricky. So what I'm going to do is take these 3 pieces off. And then what I'm going to do is I'll put this one here. And now I can't put my other ones there because they're gonna be red, and I can't flip them. Show you what I'm talking about. So I can't put it into place. It's red. Can't even see that. So we're going to bring in some Deimos holes. We need to get them over here. Duplicate them. Just keep duplicating till you get these where you want them. We need one right on top of where we're going to end up putting these. Okay, so duplicate down, and then just do the same on the other side. Bring one over, bring one down, and then bring one down again. Okay, now you can get rid of all these extra holes. Just leave those 2. And at this point, you should be able to drop in your equipment plate. Right there. Copy that to the other side. And what you'll do is duplicate that down. That'll get you your plate where you need it. And then you can duplicate these 2 into the other spots. And then do the same over here. You can delete this and duplicate this down. And then what you're going to do is you're basically going to duplicate weapons down from the top one onto the bottom one and stack. So what I'm going to do here first is, let me just first finish this side. Okay. So what we have is basically I have 2 CE-59 missiles on this side, 2 Disruptor 3340 alpha beams on this side, and then 1 PBO-300, 1 PBO-300. If I duplicate all of this and all of this over to here, it's going to be all the weapons I need. Okay, so how you would do this is you would grab one of your missiles, duplicate that, and put that up top. And then you would grab a disruptor and put that up top. Now you'd probably be doing both of these sides at the same time. So both sides would look like this. Grab your missile, grab your disruptor, hit your bottom Deimos hole, duplicate down. Right? And now we duplicated those down. Now we want to get another one on there. So grab these two again and grab that and duplicate down. And now we've got 2 down here and 2 down here. So we're done with these. I got 2 here, 2 over here, that's 4. 2 here, 2 over here, that's 4. For my PBO 300s, I've got 1 here, that's 2. I need 2 more. So I'm going to select those, duplicate them, put them up top here. And then I'm going to grab these 2, grab this, duplicate them down. And now I got my 4 PBOs. And at this point, now we could put our wings back in, snap it in as red, flip it twice, cancel, grab your other wing, flip it twice, cancel. These can't snap. There's no snap points. So we have to drop down. So grab your Deimos hole, duplicate it up, duplicate it over, and that's all you need. You could, oops, don't delete those. All right, now that those are in place, now you can snap this on there, and that on there. Grab these 2. Also put those up top. Okay, now we can delete these holes. And now we just need to drop these down twice again. So select all 4, select your bottom Deimos hole, duplicate, drop down, select your bottom Deimos hole and the bottom 4 parts here. Duplicate, drop down, delete the 8 extras, delete all your Deimos holes. I'll delete these weapons since I already recreated them. And there you go. We got a nominal blue check mark. We've got all our weapons hidden. The last thing you'll probably need to do is go into your weapon assignment and assign your weapons. And then give it some paint. Paint's up to you. Do it how you want. I have one of these in blue. I have one of these in rose. I call it the Manta Rosa. So I don't have any cargo. You guys, if you want cargo, you could add cargo. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, all your ships don't need to have cargo. Sometimes I just like to build ships for the look. I spend a lot of time in the shipbuilder. So, yeah. So there she is. The Manta Rosa. If you liked this build and you want to see more build guides, let me know in the comments what ship you would like to see me build next. I'll happy to put build guides together for you guys. We got a Thunderbird 3, Thunderbird 4. I've got a Jigsaw. Move the cockpit to the front. Called it the Rip Saw. I've got a Halo Scorpion. I've got a Mech Warrior. I've got a John Deere Combine. Let's see, what else do we got that we can build for you? We have the Discovery Space Shuttle. I already put a guide on this one. AV-8B Harrier. I could put a build guide for this if you'd like. We have the BNSF SD40-2 engine. We've got the Fly. This is everything's buried into here, into the back. 10 crew, 30 light years, 100 mobility, 180 speed, mass of 1,000, max weapons. So I got a lot of ships. Sorry, backed out of there. We've got a Scorpio. Let's see, stock Frontier, Blackhawk upgraded, stock Razor Leaf. I've got a Batwing. I already got a video on that. A couple stock ships that are upgraded. We've got the AC-130 Hercules warship. If you'd like a guide on putting this together, there's a lot of work into these wings. I've got an Apache helicopter. It was originally a Halo Pelican. F-14 Tomcat. We've got the Morning Glory. We've got an A-10 Warthog. We've got an F-22 Raptor. We've got a Blue Angel F-14 or F-16. A Swordfish. SR-71 Blackbird or an Archangel. We got the Tailspin Sea Duck. Scorn Falcon. A Mini Mavis. Planet Express. A Chimera. A Penguin. A Freedom Eagle. Freestart Eagle. Complete with legs and everything. And then here we are back at the Fly. So if you'd like to see build guides on any of those, just let me know in the comments, guys. Hope this helped you out. And we'll catch you on the next one, everybody. Peace out.